Good morning, YouTube City. I was just sitting and thinking, and I decided I was going to make a little video about all the things I've learned this past year. Um, and I usually kind of cringe. I still watch them, obviously, but I kind of cringe at this many things I've learned at this age. And I don't know why. I think is because I kind of had an ego before. I was like, you're not that smart. You're only 25 or you're only 30. Shut up. I didn't want to hear it. And I think it's because maybe the YouTubers, the specific ones I was watching that were making those videos, I felt were out of touch with reality. Cause I think maybe Cody Ko in the past, he who shall not be named, he had made videos like that. And then I had just remembered seeing a lot of, girly what's in my bag girl YouTubers that I did like them, but when they would make those videos it felt irritating to me because a lot of the times they were rich, and so I was like, okay, whatever. I don't feel like I can learn a lot from you. But this isn't really I also felt like maybe they were trying to teach me something because of the way it was worded, and so I decided I'm going to make the same type of video, and it will be the exact same. It is going to, the way I worded my notes, it does seem like I'm trying to teach somebody else something. But this is really just I'm just kind of reflecting on what I have learned in the past year. And I'm going to say, maybe I'll title it the things I've learned since I've turned 24. But I think that it's things that I've learned. And when I was turned 24, on my birthday, I feel these kind of have finalized, but some of these things have just started where I'm still learning them, but it's a new revelation I had when I turned 24. And also, I've also realized, I think that a lot of the reason I didn't like those videos in the past is because these are all based off of your life experience, obviously. So obviously some people already know these things. Some people don't know these things. And if I'm questioning well, obviously everybody knows that, no, not obviously everybody knows that. And there's a lot of things that I didn't know that other people would think well, obviously everybody knows that, but I didn't know. So this is what I'm talking about for my video today. Wow, really good intro. Okay, the first one is you're allowed to, and even encouraged to, accept offers and favors from people because they shouldn't be offering if they don't want to follow through. I feel a lot of people, especially women, have guilt around accepting money or gifts or whatever from people because you think, oh, they're going to hold it over your head. And I have just decided I'm going to have the self-confidence. If you try to hold that over my head, I'm going to be steadfast in the fact that, no, you offered that and you cannot expect anything in return for it. You said you were going to do it and you needed to follow through on your promise. I didn't ask for it. So that's, kind of what I'm gonna have my stance be on that now. And on the other side of that, I'm not gonna offer something just to be polite either. If I offer to do something, I have to be 1,000% willing to follow through out of the kindness of my heart and not expect anything from the other party in return, because you just can't rely on anybody for anything. And that's my next one. People may have good intentions, but really people, I've learned, they only really need to have loyalty to themselves and their family. Really. And I value friendships differently than that. I do value friendships equally as a romantic relationship or as a familial relationship. Friendship is that important to me, but not everybody is like that. And that doesn't mean that they hate you or that they're out to get you or hurt you just because they're flaky or unreliable. Because my next one is everybody has shit going on. Everybody is always going through something difficult. Nobody necessarily has it easier than you. Even if they do have it easier in some ways, you probably have it easier than them in others that you don't even think about or consider. So just have empathy and mindfulness for everybody. However, I've also learned if they wanted to, they would. And this is a controversial one. I think that people have a lot of different opinions on this. I've seen a lot of TikTok videos, people talking about this concept. But, everybody does have shit going on. But despite all that, a lot of people still seem to make time for certain people and certain activities. And if you're not a part of that, it's not necessarily a personal attack on you, but it's a sign that you should stop putting your everything and your all into this relationship. So maybe your friendship went from best friends to just friends, or from friends to acquaintances. That's okay. It doesn't mean anything bad about you personally. because nobody's going to have 100% loyalty to you. Even if you're married, you shouldn't expect that. I mean, you should expect that because that's the agreement, but like, I just have distrust of people because I've seen so many bad marriages. So you have to be the one person in the room to have loyalty to you. You have to be the one to stand up for yourself and to look out for your own best interests. No matter what anybody says, they're not going to always do that for you. Even if they're the best friend in the world, or they're your parent or your life partner, like, they were going to drop the ball at some point. And that kind of like, it seems isolating because you have to be the one to like put in all the effort for you, but it's actually relieving and healing to be alone. Like, being alone and being solely responsible for your needs creates a lot of freedom and confidence in your own ability. You can do exactly what you want to do without having to compromise for anybody. You can get to know yourself on such a deep personal level, and having that beautiful relationship with yourself can be more fulfilling than like a romantic relationship or a friendship, if like, you know, in some cases. And if it seems lonely, just remember, you know, not everybody hates you. That's something I have to try to remind myself so constantly. Like, not everybody hates you. There's so much love in this world that has been given to you and that you can accept. You just have to be grateful and open to it. And you just have to put love out into the universe, and it will come back to you. And like, yeah, this seems like, I don't know, fucking blah-de-da, like hippie ass shit. But people will see your genuine kindness and be attracted to your spirit because of that. Like, you may not be able to rely on any one person for everything, but you can be gracious when their kindness comes your way. And you can be like, just happy that you had that experience. Like, right now I'm really working on learning, like, oh, don't be sad that it's over, be glad that it happened. That's a really hard concept for me, and I'm definitely not like, I'm not there yet with that, you know, but I'm trying to learn that. That's something that somebody, I think the first time I heard that, it was because I was leaving a sleepover with my friend, and she lived far away, so I was really sad that I wasn't going to see her for a long time. And I was like moping on the way home, and her grandma was like, don't be sad that it's over, be glad that it happened. And as a little kid, I was like, that's stupid. Like, I am sad that it's over. Like, what are you talking about? And so I don't think now that I'm older, I'm realizing it's just a phrase. Like, it doesn't mean you need to actually push your emotions down and not feel sad about things, but it's just trying to teach you, like, to have more gratefulness. I think that just gratefulness journaling has really helped my mental health, because it really changes your mindset and reframes your thinking to be so much more positive. And mindset is such a big deal when it comes to like your quality of life. I'm sorry, like, yes, you have there's a lot of people, like, I'm one of these people. I'm poor and I have certain disadvantages. Like, I am Black, I'm trans, you know, I have a lot of different like things going on with my mental health that make life maybe harder for me than somebody who doesn't have all those disadvantages. But when I have the mindset that, oh, I'm like at a disadvantage and I can't do this thing has not been given to me, so I can't achieve this thing because the world is against me, that is not doing me any favors. Other people already have that mindset against me. Why do I need to have that mindset against myself? Like, that's not really helpful for me. So it doesn't mean I'm not going to acknowledge that racism is real and that transphobia is real and that I have things that are making it harder for me in life. That's not what I'm going to say. But what I'm not going to say is, like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, I can't do something because of like my race or my gender or my sexuality. I'm not going to say I can't do something because of my financial situation. And, you know, realistically, there are certain things that you literally cannot do if you don't have the money for it. But I like to think outside of the box. I like to think around, like, you know, loopholes and things like the van life. I live in an RV right now that's already kind of on its way towards that. There's certain things like that you can cut down on buying. There's certain things that you can choose to spend your energy and effort towards. You can always, like, I'm a big fan of quitting my job. I'm a big fan of quitting my job and getting a new job. And a lot of people are against that. And there are certain situations, of course, where you shouldn't do that. And there's certain situations where I've done it and I shouldn't have done it. But you know what? I am happier now that I don't work in those places. And I have just adjusted my life so that I can survive without having that particular exact job. And the other thing is, you just have to be patient. That's the other thing that I've learned. That's like the last thing I think I'm going to say. You just have to be fucking patient, because not everything is going to work out immediately. And sometimes it takes a really long time. But I think that if you are, having this positive mindset, you're thinking outside the box, you have gratefulness and that peace of mind, things will work out eventually for you. And I do like to think that there's something spiritual about that. And I'd like to think, certain, gods are blessing me. But it's hard for me to think about like fate because, murders happen. And I don't want to think, it was fate for that person to get murdered. Or if something, my trauma that's happened to me, I'm not going to say, oh, that was just meant to happen. That was fate. God had that and planned for me, because that's fucked up. But I do like to think that there is a certain like kind of energy that you put out and you receive back. And so if you put in the effort to make your life better, in some ways it will be achieved. And maybe not in the exact way that you imagined, but you will get that energy back. And that's kind of like all I really had to say, I guess. That's all the stuff that not maybe all the things. And that's not everything. Like, I have a lot of things that I'm currently working on learning. Like, one of the ones that I mentioned, but I just, those are some of the things that I have realized this year. I've also learned a lot of things about men this year, but that's like a separate video, being voiceover and like not dating and it's a lot of these things are just general truths that I've learned for my life, but there's a lot of more specific things that I have learned that these things apply to in relation to dating and men. So maybe that'll be another video sometime. Will I be doing, I saw comments. I saw comments from people that weren't subscribed to me on my last video. And that was so sweet. Oh my God. I was so excited to see that. I was so thankful. And I saw a suggestion that I should do like a draw with me, or like a, I don't know, a speed draw in the background. So I might I don't know if I'm going to put that in the background. I don't know how long it's going to be, because I'm kind of just yapping into a microphone. Like, I didn't set up a camera. I didn't start speed drawing while I talked, and I should probably plan that for next time. But that's an idea I want to do for sure. I definitely want to do like a speed draw, because my little doodles are fun. And one more thing I've learned this year is be nice to your own art. Even if you think your art is bad or it's undeveloped or you're not that skilled, like, it's cute. I'm going to be nice to my art, because who else is going to be nice? The main thing is I have to be nice to me, because who else is going to be nice to me? And you have to be nice to you, because who else is going to be nice to you? So yeah, anyways, thank you guys for the comments. I was so happy. And I will be trying to do more like engaging videos where like you can watch something happen in the background soon. But for now, this is just like a kind of off the top of my head, off the cuff, if you will, me talking. So thank you.